Are we live?
I hope so. Okay, hello everybody. If anyone can see us, say something. No one's there and you're just looking at the screen.
Is anybody there? Are we just talking to ourselves?
Why don't we just have a coffee? Yeah, there you go. No one's there.
No one's there. Ah, can we put this on Facebook?
Eventually.
Maybe no one. Ah, okay.
Yay! Hey, how you doing? Hello, hello,
Ah,
hello.
people are coming forward. Okay, can you let us know how we sound and how we look? You are live. Okay, alright, it's all happening now.
So,
everyone's here. I thought that we were just sitting here by ourselves for a minute. It's like, oh.
we are.
Alright then.
So,
Okay.
we planned an amazing venue for you today and we had everything set up and it all went pear-shaped.
Yeah, we're gonna do this from the garden where Nick's parents' house is. It's really, really lovely. We had finally kind of figured out a way to rig Nick's phone up on the roof so that we can get a signal. Because normally we don't get signal in the house, and kind of tether the laptop from the phone, and it was all going to be amazing, and the signal was good, and we were on the internet, and it was fast, and it was good. And then about half an hour before we were due to go live, it just dropped out. We sort of had a 4G signal, but there was no internet, and we had data, we had everything, but nothing was working. So we kind of we quickly packed up the laptop, which luckily is fully charged, and like power walked to Starbucks.
Yes.
And now we're sweating and
drinking iced tea.
And so yeah, I'm sorry that the venue's the same as it has been.
Yeah, we planned all sorts of amazing things, didn't we? Anyway.
Well, it wasn't that amazing, it was just a bit of a change of scene for you guys.
Anyway.
So
we're back.
Sorry that we're back at Starbucks. We're not really endorsing Starbucks. In fact, I'm not a massive Starbucks fan, but they do a really good internet here.
Well, I can't reach.
I know, but there's a reason why everything will go up.
Okay. Yeah. So, let's do some hellos.
Okay.
So, first, Gillian. Hello, Gillian. Hello, Caesar. Hello, Darren. Hello, William.
Hello, Eric.
Spud
Samantha.
Boy. Hello.
The
Dude.
James. Should we try and be a little bit more on top of the comments this time? I feel like we often get at least.
Do you know why I don't?
Behind.
Yeah, but because sometimes they don't all come at the same time, and then you end up running out. And we're like,
We do have stuff to say that isn't in direct reply to someone's question.
So Samantha says, "What have we been up to?" Well, big news is Terysa leaves tomorrow.
Yes.
She leaves me.
I do. I leave me for a whole 2 weeks.
Which is the first time we've been apart in a year.
Yeah. This time last year we had the same thing. So yeah, so I'm leaving Rhodes tomorrow. Fly back to London, and then I'm flying to Australia the following day. And as with the last couple of weeks, I'm sorry about the occasional motorbike that goes past. Okay, so hello to Brian, Darius, Niels, Darren. Everyone is from lots of different places. So we've got people from Jersey, we've got people from Georgia, we've got people from North Carolina. You look massively stressed and completely unhappy, says Damien. Yeah. The only good thing is that I'm getting another coffee frappe out of all
Damien's
this.
probably being slightly sarcastic, right?
Oh, because I am actually not particularly happy that we're back at Starbucks again for the second time today. Josh is from Southampton.
So,
from Kentucky.
I want to go to Kentucky. The chicken's meant to be good. Right.
Hello from Virginia.
Our first posy question of the day. What do you think about a monohull versus a catamaran?
This old chestnut.
This old chestnut. I think it's probably number one in the questions we get asked the most. And the reason I don't put out a video about it is that I don't know enough about catamarans. So here's the thing. I would probably, you know what, I vacillate between wanting a catamaran and not wanting a catamaran. Firstly, the living space is amazing on a catamaran, and that's what you get. You get an amazing amount of living space.
Yes.
Yeah. What you don't get is you don't get the performance of a monohull. You can obviously get a racing catamaran. You don't get the performance. You have the upwind sailing ability, which is terrible, and most of the catamarans that we've seen that are within our budget are not well built enough for me to want to buy one. There's a couple. There's a really good diagram that someone put on the internet about. It's like a triangle. On one corner of the triangle is efficiency, the other one is cost, and there's a third one is something else. I don't know what it is. But essentially, if you want a good living space and a good cat, you've got to pay through the nose for it, and we don't have that sort of money. So I think for what we want to do, a cat is not ideal. If I just wanted to bum around the Caribbean for the next 10 years, Catman would be perfect.
Yeah. Okay, James says, so would you do chartering when you come back to South Carolina? No, we're not really up for chartering, to be honest.
As in us chartering a boat, or us being...
I'm thinking the question is meant for us chartering our boat.
No.
No.
Hey.
Jack says hello.
Hey Jack, how you doing?
Devin says hello. He's from Maryland. Andy's coming from Dubai. So, okay.
So Stuart asked a question. I'm not sure if you saw the video we put out on Friday about renewable energy. And he says, can you run all the renewable sources at the same time? Yes, you can, but this is how it works. All these renewables have got regulators. So our solar panels have a regulator, our wind generator has a regulator, and our hydro generator has a regulator, and as does the engine alternator. So what happens is, one of them will make the boat batteries register, say, 12.8 volts, and the other three things will say, hang on a minute, everything's full, and stop charging. And it's more so with the engine alternator, because what I have done on the boat, you may have seen it, and I should have put this shot in, we have three little separate ammeters measuring current, one for the hydro.
We did take footage.
I didn't put it in.
Oh, did you forget?
No, they were all registering 0. Because we were plugged into the shore power.
Okay.
So I can check the input from each one of our renewables separately, and you find that as soon as you have the alternator on, everything else drops out, because the other three go, hang on a minute, they're seeing that there's a lot of current going in. However, when we're off the shore power, we're not running the engine, yes, we can, all three renewables will go into the battery.
Alright, Tim says hello from Scotland. Luis is from Brazil. The music rocks 4 says hi from Timar, Texas.
Hi from Layla88. Hello, Layla.
Carl and Jenny apparently just sent us a Facebook message asking where you'd got to. Sorry, we didn't see. Did you see that? I haven't checked the messages
Phones
today.
up the fritz.
Yeah. Giles is from London. Rod says hi. Rod from Australia. Kalimera from. Oh, I don't know. Epidavros.
Marie, hello from Missouri. Hello, Marie. And
Nashim is from Israel. So we've got a real kind of.
Michelle's from South Africa.
Brilliant. People from everywhere. I think someone at the beginning says that he was from Adelaide. So
Jack says Texas Jack, Laurie Madison. There you go.
Okay. So hello. How long have you now been in Rhodes? It seems like weeks. Yes, there has been weeks. What's the main reason you've spent so much time in Rhodes? Well,
my parents live here.
Nick's parents live here in the summer. They've got a very beautiful house here, which we were planning to do the YouTube live session from, but as I said before, technology problems paid for that.
Yeah, so apologies, we've had to run down here.
Yeah, so now you get just a kind of fairly kind of standard Starbucks background, so I'm sorry about that.
Okay. So Andy says, are the catamarans stable? Again, I've never owned a catamaran, but I talked to Paul Shard. We met Paul and Cheryl in the BVIs.
Of Distant Shores.
Yeah, and we know them, and they have kind of like been a little bit, they've not been our official mentors, but we listen to a lot of what they say. Anyway, they had hired a catamaran before I think they committed to their new yacht, and what he said was it was just too squeaky. There was too much. Yeah, he said there's a lot of movement in the boat. I think stability on water, they are stable. They have a different motion. That's what everyone else tells us. Um, and Cheeky Monkey is a Helia 44.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
The thing is that catamarans have to be built. They're very weight sensitive, so you can't really have a heavy catamaran because it won't perform. So they're therefore very lightweight in terms of building materials. So therefore, you've got this kind of compromise, I guess.
Yep.
Anyway, we don't know enough about
just
it.
one thing I'm going to say first. We've done this Starbucks things now what, 2 or 3 times. After about between 45 minutes to an hour, the signal drops out and we have to start back again. If the signal drops out, we will come back.
Yes, hold tight.
Hold tight, don't
we'll be back.
Because everyone else buggered off last time. They're like, okay, so Jihadi, JJ Hardy, sorry, not Jihadi. Oh, let's drop the J bomb in already. Okay, so hello from Charleston. Okay, when are we going back to sea? We are back. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We fly back to the States at the end of September, and then we are doing the ocean. We've been asked to be on the panel for the Ocean Forum sailing for the World Cruising Club. So Ocean Sailing Forum. So the World Cruising Club, which is a huge organisation, they do a panel of experts every year to discuss world sailing. And they were desperate. Yeah, it's like that list. There's like 23, 24. The Shards are busy. Gone with the Winds are busy. SLV are too rich. Like, and then I'm like, what about you? And I'm like, okay, we'll do that. So yeah, so we're going to be at the Annapolis Boat Show, and I think because people keep asking us, we are going to be there Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, the 7th of September.
No, I think we're going on Friday. Maybe we should.
Okay, so
decide when we book our flights.
Yeah, well, so we'll let you know.
Announce then
but
what days we'll be
definitely going to be there on the Saturday, and the reason we're going to be on this it probably will be Friday, Saturday, because I want a full day at the boat show. I want to talk to a lot of people. We want to meet a lot of people, and Saturday morning. Yeah, we have to buy. So Saturday morning, we've got to give this talk for 3 hours. So that's where we. Jennifer, hello, Jennifer. Nice to see you here.
Keith, really enjoyed our last video. Thank you, Keith. That's lovely. Arizona,
Dad and the gang.
Dad and the gang says hi from Arizona. So this is the problem when you get too far behind.
Catch up.
Okay.
Colin.
Just catching up with you both. I started with your first videos and worked my way up to now. Fantastic. That's nice to hear.
Gary,
our audio is breaking up.
Look, the audio. We are unfortunately constrained by poor internet signal. Yeah, so if it breaks up, it will come back. And as I keep saying, a couple of things before Terysa taps that. It does drop out, it comes back. When the signal drops out completely, come back to us. And as someone keeps saying, it's if you haven't, click the thumbs up bit, please. Slick Milano.
Thumbs up.
It's thumbs up, that's what I'm saying. Where are you guys and what's next on your plans? So we are in Greece. Terysa flies off to Australia tomorrow, and then I follow out in 2 weeks' time, and then we're back. We're back in the boat end of September.
Russell says, "Have you sold your sailboat yet?" No. Esvidala, hello, says, in regards to yesterday's comment I made, Yamaha exhaust mix. I don't understand what he's talking about.
Okay, so you said Yamaha exhaust mixing elbows load up with carbon with excessive idling causing overheating.
Are you speaking English?
Yes, there are 2 exhausts that Yanmar do. One is a small bore one, and one is like a 3.5-inch bore one. We have the 3.5-inch bore one. So I don't think it's coked up at all, and it can cause overheating. The exhaust elbow, realistically, it's one of those end-of-season jobs that I should do and have never done. You take it off and look for corrosion inside it. But the engine's only 5 years old and it's only got like 1,200 hours on it, so I don't think it's going to coke up yet. Although, yes, if you've got an exhaust elbow that's more than 20 years old, I think on average an exhaust elbow, they don't last that long. There's so much corrosive gas that goes through them, they get chewed out. So Stuart says, yes, Southerly will be at the Southampton Boat Show. We won't. There's a shame.
The Southampton Boat Show.
Yeah.
Um,
Tim's moored up on Lock Week. No?
Scotland.
Sorry.
Left Shooter 69 says, can you put up a vid about basic tools needed on the boat? That could be a very long video.
It's a good idea though.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I think Do you know what? We've got so many tools. When we did the safety talk for the Ark, sorry, the safety briefing for the Ark, they come around and they inspect everyone's boat before you set off. And one of the questions they say is, do you have any tools? So we kind of open up 2 lockers, like brimming with everything. And I'm like, does anyone really go without tools? And they're like, yeah, you'd be surprised. People just turn up with like a cat collar and a tin opener. I think that's enough. Yeah, we have a lot of things. Yeah, I probably will, maybe not a vid, but maybe just some information.
Maybe a blog post.
So Sheila, hello from Cape Breton. We love Cape Breton. We, if that's the one in Western France.
Could be completely different. Anyway,
Mike Smith.
do you have an option on the freestanding rigs, e.g. Freedoms? Greetings from Gypsum Lakes, Australia. Hello.
So I've got a friend with a Freedom rig, Ellen Ray Martin and it's different. They are brilliant. Once you get them going, they're amazing. I've never sailed one. They look amazing under sail. I think that anything without shrouds is the work of the devil because I don't understand it. But yeah, I think Freedom Week, essentially it's just a massive, if for those who don't know, a Freedom Week is essentially like a massive windsurfer.
A Freedom Week.
Freedom Week, yes.
That's a different thing.
So yeah.
Okay.
So Egret Snow. Terysa, you can answer that.
You do know who Egret Snow is.
Who is Egret Snow?
Is that a Game of Thrones character?
Maybe that's
Have I just gone completely insane?
Yeah, I know. Just answer the question.
That or you have a name that sounds like you should be in Game of Thrones. As one who is looking to get into this lifestyle, do you have any regrets or things you wish you'd done differently?
Okay, so another thing. I don't think you can ever be 100% sure about something. And we got, like, I put some stuff on Reddit the other day, and there's always someone's giving us grief about, why,
What?
Well, someone was just saying, you've got to be wealthy to do this, you must have just had a potload of money. Yeah, you have to have money to buy a boat. Unfortunately, the magical world of unicorns where you can just conjure a boat out of your own ass.
Mm-hmm.
We don't live there, so we had money to buy a boat. We'd made money, and we made money to buy a house. So
we rent out.
Yeah. So we obviously would, but we could have made potloads of money. We had good careers. So you have to have money to start it. Do we have any regrets? We could have gone in 10 or 20 years absolutely loaded, bought like a 60-foot oyster, and sailed off with like peacocks swanning around the deck. Thus far, we're out 3 years, never been happier.
Yeah.
Literally never been happier. It's just, I think we did get to the point where we had all the things we wanted. We had the cars, we had the nice lifestyle, we could eat out in restaurants whenever we wanted. But it becomes, after a while, it just becomes pointless. You end up just kind of buying another car every couple of years.
You go do something. You get up and go to work every day. But, comes the weekend, and you have to do something that makes you feel like it's worthwhile going to work all week.
So, okay, I'm going to digress a little bit. Terysa, roll her eyes. There is a book called Tuesdays with Maury, which is a book that a friend of mine gave me, probably as a tongue-in-cheek thing about 20 years ago, because I was making money. And anyway, Tuesdays with Maury is it's a story, and it's a brilliant, brilliant book. They made a film out of it. Don't bother with the film, read the book. About an old professor called Maurice Schwartz who was dying. He was like very old and dying, and he had Lou Gehrig's disease, which basically meant his mind was intact, but his body was failing. Anyway, he was interviewed every week by one of his old pupils. Yeah, it's a true story. By one of his pupils about his views on life from the point of view of someone at the end of a long life. And every chapter deals with something, like one chapter's relationships, one chapter's money. But what he says is, when you get to the end of your life, you are not going to, money's going to be you having made money means nothing. You having led a good and full life and done all the things you wanted will be the important stuff. So to us, I took a lot from that. I suppose, I don't know. Obviously, if we end up living under a bridge in a few years' time, or that horse box in Kent, then that's going to be one thing.
That horse box was awesome. Okay, so Victor says hello from Sweden. Grady is from Zambia. Hello. Kim says a lovely thing, which is that Lovely to see you both. Can't wait to see your next adventures. Definitely encourage hubby and I to do it. That sounds fantastic. SB Roller says, I'm bringing t-shirts down to Annapolis. What size are you? Oh, that's exciting. I don't know. Nick is what, medium, large? Medium?
Medium, please.
Medium, and I'm a...
Small. Extra small.
Yeah, I'm an extra small. Or if it's a women's shirt, I might be small, but normally I'm extra small.
So Andre, we get this question a bit.
Andre.
Andre says, I know it's supposed to be hurricane season, but as yet I've not seen one on the news. Don't you think it's wasted time when you could have carried on sailing and ducked into marina somewhere if one is forecast? Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. We need to go home every now and then. We can't just do this indefinitely, and hurricane season gives us a good opportunity to go and see family. So we took 3 months off to go home and do things just to see family. So that's the first thing. Second thing, hurricane season is uncomfortably warm. Yeah. It is really difficult.
Very humid.
Yeah. And here's the third thing. Because of the way we sailed 2 years ago, we set off in May, got to November, which is the end of the European season, then crossed the Atlantic and did the Caribbean season back. So we did 14 months without a rest. And we were both very tired of sailing by the time we did that. So that's what I would say. You need to take a break from the boat.
Yeah.
And although you think, well, actually, it's a permanent holiday you're on, it's not a permanent holiday, it's a job. It is a job. It's probably the best job in the world, in the same way that kind of astronaut, racing car driver, pop star is an amazing job. But it is a job. And, so, you know, when we got to the end of last season, like this one we just left, this is in 2016, when we left the boat in Antigua, the end of last year, we were like, okay, we just need to be away from the boat for a while.
It's really nice to have like a really long shower and to have a kind of proper washing machine and to snuggle up in a bed that wasn't like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, trying to be cool with fans which aren't really working very well. So Aaron
says, what are your thoughts on the flopper stopper? Flopper stoppers are, I've always thought them, the principle's fantastic. I think we've been on a friend's boat that had a motorboat, and they roll a lot more than keel boats. I personally think that they are a lot to set up and unnecessary. You just choose your anchorage is better.
We've never been anywhere that I've got to myself that we need to do that. And in the Bahamas, there are a lot of rolling anchorages, and our friends Bo and Alison were, for some reason, maybe just the shape of their boat, they're more affected by the roll than we were, or maybe they just didn't like it. I don't mind a little bit of roll, it puts me to sleep. So they set up a anchor bridle, and I'm not going to explain how to do it because I can't quite remember. Nick, do you remember?
Yeah.
Hang on, wait, don't tell me. You take the snubber, the hook on the snubber, and you take the snubber and you bring the snubber back as you're letting out the anchor chain. You bring the snubber back to the stern cleat.
Yeah, so the boat
becomes
it's perpendicular to the anchor.
Yeah.
So rather than the boat being anchor being down, it's perpendicular.
So the anchor's holding you out sideways rather than on the front, and then that just changes the angle, and you are therefore facing, or hopefully if you do it properly, you'll be facing into the swell as opposed to it would be hitting you on the side.
So Charles and Sandy, hello from LA. I want to go to LA. Anthony says, hello guys. I wonder if there's something out there that can regulate multiple inputs into a single battery. No, and there's too many variables for the inputs. Our regulator for our wind generator is actually in the wind generator. You know, it's difficult to regulate an input from different sources. You know, for instance, if you've got 200 watts of solar, it's very different to if you've got a cat with 1,000 watts of solar. So you really should try and tailor the regulation according to the... Sorry.
Nick's damaged his throat. He's got a sore throat, don't you, darling?
Yeah. So no, I don't think, and to take you to Anthony, I think it's no great shenanigans having multiple regulators. That's my thought on it. So Jennifer says, based on your experience, what would be the top 3 blue water cruising boats between 40 and 50 foot? Okay, I don't know. Okay, in European brands, 40 to 50, I think the best boat Money no object now. I'd probably buy a Southerly 480. Is it called a 480 now?
I can't remember. The old Southerly 47.
Whatever Distant Shores are buying, not because Distant Shores are buying it. I always thought the Southerly 47 was the perfect size for a couple. I think it's called the Southerly 480 now, but I'm slightly biased. So in European boats, that I think a Halberg Rassi 46 is going to be up there. I'd definitely take that. Beautiful boat. And I'm going to count Marlowe and Halberg Rassi in the same stable because they're both kind of high quality Scandinavian boats. And probably, I don't know, the new Discovery 48 looks good actually. It really does.
Is it significantly different
Sorry.
to the Southerly?
I don't know. Oh, the other thing I would look at actually, if the new one, I want to look at an Amel 50. That looks like a beautiful boat. And the Amel 50, again, we can't afford an Amel 50. I think, you know, it's going to come in at probably $1 million. But yeah.
That's really like Amel, Halberg Rassi, and Southerly.
That's good.
I think that's a good top 3.
So Gary says, hello from New Jersey. What do you think about narrowboat cruising UK? Yeah, I'd love a narrowboat.
That would be fun.
One day.
I think that's something that is definitely on our list.
Well,
We're
our friends
definitely
just
going to do
bought a
that.
narrowboat, haven't they?
Yep. Oh dear. We're very behind. Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Steve Howe from Tollsbury. Enjoy Tollsbury, mate. There's a good swimming pool there. My friend Richard always spends there with all these hundreds of kids.
Okay. We've got a dental question.
All right.
Has dental care, in your experience, for crowns, root canals, and implants been available at an acceptable level of cost and quality? Do you mean as we're cruising? I'm going to assume yes. I don't know. We've not seen, have we?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
What?
SV Valor sailed on a PDQ cat. Is that the Antares 44?
Do you want to go and get yourself another drink?
No.
Maybe a lovely soothing tea.
Did my mother give me a strapson earlier?
Yeah. Such an old man.
Nathan, hello. Robert, good morning from West Virginia.
I understand your explanation about the various voltage regulators. Question, is it an undesirable limitation?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Dave. Is this man's name Dave?
No, it's DV.
I know, but we keep us...
DVS.
We have been over this
Era.
about 1,000 times, and then he's like, just
Dave.
call me Dave.
Dave.
I'm pretty sure it's Dave. Hello. Yeah, I know. Look, okay, so Nick gets bollocking at least once every day. The misspelling, like if ever you see on Facebook or YouTube any poor punctuation, poor grammar, a spelling error, anything like that, it's Nick. And it's partly because he does a lot of things on his phone and he does, like, it all automatically autocorrects and he doesn't bother rechecking it, which is how he ended up misspelling my name. And half it's because he just, I don't know, he just seems to be like above all that kind of punctuation bullshit. It doesn't really, shouldn't apply to you, should it, darling?
Backhand insult. Alright, anyway, someone said...
Florida coming this way. Yes, we will be coming south via Florida next year, for sure.
Louis says, your boat's on thoughts on a Beneteau 54 for cruising. You know what, we've seen a lot of bigger Beneteaus, and I've never really inquired into this. They seem to be better built than smaller Beneteaus.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple that they seem better built. Anyway.
Samantha says, what are your American friends up to? The couple you frequently hang out with, Bo and Alison. Will you meet up again while sailing? We actually Skyped them about 2 hours ago. They're doing really well. They are back to work. They're living in Charleston, in the marina in Charleston on their boat. And they're back at work and they're happy and they're just enjoying being liveaboards but not cruising at the moment. So
why did we talk to them? What was one of the reasons we talked to them?
Well, are we going to say? Okay. Well, you've said it now. Now they're all going to think it's something like really...
You're having a baby.
Not having a baby. Why would that... Why does that really to do with us Skyping Bo and Alison?
To tell them the happy news. She's not having a baby.
Where am I?
No.
They received a package from a very lovely woman who is going to be helping us get some t-shirts out. So they received a package full of 10 different types of t-shirts, different brands, different designs, different colours, just so that they can kind of feel it and have a look at it and try it on, and yeah, because we're not obviously there.
So, so people have been asking us about merchandise and lots of different other things. Are we doing, and what's going on with that? We've held off on merchandise because, especially when we did the Charleston meetup, there was a few people that said, "Oh, I've got T-shirts from so and so and so and so, other people, and they're like of poor quality." So we're like, okay, let's look into that. And so we found a really good T-shirt manufacturer, and we approached her and said, "Look, this is what we want to do. Can you work with our designs? Can you do this? Can you do something which is environmentally sound? Can you do something which is not going to fade?" So she has come up with loads of different things for us, loads of different, just the actual cotton. So because we're overseas, we got the package sent to Alison, and we Skyped her to say, "Look, what does it feel like? What's the quality like? What's the cut like?" So that if I want to be able to wear T-shirts, this is the thing that I'm going to start banging on about this.
I feel like I succinctly and relevantly answer a question,
You know, I like to.
and then you're like, "But wait a second."
Do you know I like to pontificate? This is the thing, right? I find a lot of sailing T-shirts are a little bit bland. There's just a picture of a boat on it. And anyway, I wanted something that looked really nice. So if you people
I don't think that ours is anything
it's freaking
but
awesome.
a picture
It's
of a boat
awesome.
on it.
It's awesome. Like, it's got unicorns and eagles and like,
Okay, so Bobby says, "What does the boat being out of the water for 3 or 4 months affect the bottom paint?"
it was the end of our season and we had not done the bottom painting, and we just decided last week we're going to put her back in without bottom painting her, because we are going to probably be in Charleston for a couple, 3 more months, and we'll haul her again before we set off. So we try and get our anti-foul, our bottom paint done literally a week before we set off.
But the question was, does the boat being out of the water affect the bottom paint?
Don't think so. I think within, yeah.
The answer I gave.
Anyway.
Okay, Lewis says, "Do you plan to sail down to Brazil?" Delos are here now, and they said that they're falling in love with Brazil. Yeah, look, Brazil, again, on the list. Everything's on the list. I can't think of any places that aren't on the list, apart from a few war-torn places where obviously we don't want to be sailing to. So, but Brazil's in kind of the wrong direction at the moment.
Carl and Jenny, read the next case. Carl and Jenny, thank you so much. Bavaria 47, good boat, very good boat. Check, just make sure you get the survey done. Dad and the gang, best comment we've ever had.
Oh, what? Dad and the gang says, "We bought our first sailboat last week because of you two. We love the channel, and now we're going to learn to sail." That's kind of insane.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. That's kind of what we're doing.
I'm amazed, and I hope that you really love it, because if you hate it, then
yeah, so
I don't want to be responsible.
Okay, so Street Muscle, hello to your daughter Gina. Hello Gina.
Hello, Gina.
Hello, Gina. I'm kind of assuming that your daughter Gina's like under 12, because I'm now doing the child thing. She's not like a 22-year-old who's like, "Dad, why am I watching this shit?" Okay.
In one of your future information videos, can you please provide some information on the logistics of entering a new country? We've had this question quite a lot. Maybe I will do something like that, because I didn't realise it was something that people...
In fact, that's the video that you can do, because everyone's complaining that I was talking about in last week's video too much.
Everyone loved your last video. I had nothing to say about, like, I can't remember what you did the video on. What was it on again? Renewable energy.
Yeah.
Okay, Arthur says, "Seriously considering quitting full-time work, following in your footsteps, aboard a Lagoon 42. Great. Concerned about getting bored with the lack of brain use. Do you find this?" Well, this is one of the reasons why we started the YouTube channel, because you do need something that's going to challenge you. So whether that's a new hobby, or whether it's like a new line of work that you can pursue from your boat, or like learning the guitar, or writing a book, or something, you have to have something that is going to focus you. You have to set goals for yourself, new challenges for yourself, otherwise you will, well, I don't know, you might not, you might be totally fine, but we...
Yeah, and this is why the YouTube thing, we really enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so good morning. Thank you, Larry. Chris, are you at the same place as last week?
Yes.
Sorry, we tried to go somewhere else, but our internet packed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Snoopy, what do you think about putting a figurehead on your boat? Yeah, I don't see why not.
That could look really good depending on the actual boat. I don't know if it would look any good on ours.
I want beavers.
Okay, Carlton says, "Can Terysa give a woman's perspective on cruising? Clothes, what to take and what to expect? We leave in 5 months, and I'm sure my wife would enjoy a video from her point of view." I don't know. Perhaps.
I know I'm not a woman, but I actually happened to read an article on this,
Yeah.
and we've met a few cruisers that have said the same thing, that take like one or two really kind of posh outfits, and the rest is just whatever you have will get trashed.
Yeah. I haven't done a video on kind of women on board because I don't really think that.
Is it conforming to gender stereotypes?
Yeah. I don't think that the advice that we give should be based on gender. I mean, obviously Nick talks about his field of expertise. I'll talk about things that I'm more familiar with and like subjects I'm more comfortable with. But I don't want to be kind of saying, you know, if you're a woman, therefore you are interested in these subjects. I think that, you know, I speak to obviously a lot of women who cruise, and I think that there are some topics that come up more often than perhaps the typical kind of evening aboard a boat with lots of different cruisers, let's say in a cockpit with like 4 or 5 couples, is that the women will group up and we'll talk about how annoying our husbands/boyfriends are, the fact that, I don't know, like we miss our children or we miss our parents, or I don't know, like the best thing that I don't actually know. I was about to maybe say some more kind of gender typical comments, but I don't actually think that
Women at
one's very-
sales got though.
Yeah, but and then the guys will talk about like, I don't know, like batteries and stuff. But that happens sometimes, but more often than not, it's all just everyone just chatting about the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like women have, you know, are interested in this and men are interested in that. We're all living the same life, and if you know, a woman has a specific question that they want to ask me, then sure, I'll talk about what clothes to bring on board until the cows come home if you want me to. But I don't want to make a video about it because I don't want to kind of propagate this myth that women are interested in clothes and men are interested in engines, because that's not true.
Okay, so Kevin says, firstly, Brian Jones, hello. Kevin Vaughan, what are your travel plans when we get back? I think we're going to hang around Charleston for a while, and the reason we're going to hang around is we've got some work to do on the boat, we've got to fix things on the boat, we've got to put some new solar panels on, put another fridge in, finish building a cockpit tent. But I think then we're going to go down to slowly make our way, port hopping down the American coast, the US coast. So we want to see Savannah, want to see a bit of Florida. Then we are going to go to Cuba, I think. That's the plan, I think Cuba.
Yeah, and then from there the plans get a little hazy. We're kind of heading south and west, but specific stop-off points are still not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sloop or a schooner? No idea, mate. Whatever works for you.
What's a schooner?
Schooner's 3 masts, isn't it?
Schooner.
Sloop is 1 mast, ketch is 2.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think schooner's like one with the first mast. So I like a ketch sail plan. 2 masts, I think it gives you more to play with. Doug, off to Captain E's kayak. Enjoy your day, my friend.
Brilliant. Bob says, Adelaide checking in, freezing my unmentionables off. Yes, I am looking at the weather now. It's got to the point where I'm now looking at 7-day forecast and being like, oh, I'm actually going to be there this Friday. So yeah, it's going to be nice on Sunday, 20 degrees and sunny on Sunday.
Of course it is.
No, it is.
Brady says, did Bo and Alison have a channel? No, not
No,
yet. Although
sadly.
Bo started putting out podcasts.
Yeah, Bo is interested in, he's a, oh god, I don't know what he does. He's like
He's a producer.
graphics
He's a
guy
producer.
for the NBC football.
Yeah, he's a producer for football.
So he's got a podcast, but not a sailing thing, no.
So the dude says, being 6'8" tall, what direction of sailboat would you recommend? 42 foot. I'd probably
That's quite tall.
6'8" is going to be difficult in a
Yeah.
sailboat. I think the Scandinavian boats, because the Scandinavians are
They're
tall.
taller,
So
yeah.
we try that.
Yeah.
Marie says, okay.
Oh, see, now you've done it.
That's right.
Sometimes we just skip down to the bottom of all the comments and then we lose our place in the.
How far up is it? Alright. I didn't do it again, did I? Oh,
No.
So,
No, we're here.
okay, so I don't know the dude, sorry mate. Marie, hello. Kezia, hello in Swansea or in Ireland, wherever you are. I hope that you're enjoying life as a student.
Shannon says, hey guys, do you have recommendations of what can be used contains seasoning? Because my seasoning gets so clumpy. What are some consumables that are costly that I should stock up on before heading out? Put rice in your seasoning.
What? What can be used to contain seasoning?
Do you mean like salt?
Oh, come here, just add rice to it.
Yeah.
Add lots of rice to it. Yeah.
Here in Greece, all the salt and pepper shakers that you have on the tables are all full of rice.
Yeah. Okay, so you and me, what was your favourite beer in Rhodes? It used to be Mythos, but now it's Zithos.
Different to Mythos.
Yeah. Andre says, 40 to 50 foot, look at island packets. I love island packets. The thing about island packets is the biscuit colour. I know you can get the occasional white island packet or blue island packet, but the biscuit colour, it just does my head in. It's literally like buying a Cornish pasty with a sailboat on it.
Charles and Sandy say that there's a Pusser's Rum pub in Annapolis and we should organise a meetup. Yes, we are definitely going to organise.
So we're going to do an Annapolis meetup. Unfortunately, Bo and Alison can't make it, so it's just going to be the two of us. But we're doing an Annapolis meetup.
We're way behind in these comments.
I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Jennifer says.
Jennifer's replying to our comments.
Oh, how about Grassy? Yeah. They're well-founded boats.
Okay. Russ says, "What are your thoughts on the first night of your first ocean crossing? What were your thoughts as you sailed away from shore, England?"
Okay. First, hang on.
The first night, I think crossing Biscay probably, as we sailed away from England.
We'd done it before.
Yeah. It was surprisingly unemotional.
Yeah. The first night crossing the Atlantic was terrifying. I was so scared. I actually couldn't. I think you get past the point of being scared and going to robot mode. I think that's where I was with that. I was so scared because it was blowing old boots. It was like knocking 40 knots.
Hey, have you guys seen Sailing Nancy's last video?
Yeah,
have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
I told Nicole about it. Yeah, if you want to talk about like a rough first offshore crossing, then watch Sailing Nancy's most recent video. Those two are like my heroes now.
Yeah.
Especially her.
So Carboss, yes, we are still in Rhodes. Cody, hello from Texas. What's the best source info for fishing laws and regulations? Look on Noon's site.
Yeah.
They tend to have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, noonsite.com.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Jennifer, well, see you in Annapolis. Okay, lovely videos. Thank you.
When are you
very
heading
much.
back to Charleston?
What just happened? I think we're still broadcasting.
When are we heading back to Charleston?
End of September.
End of September. Favourite island visited last season?
BVI is hard to beat.
Yeah, that's not an island though, that's a little archipelago.
Archipelago.
St. John.
Yes.
St. John in the USVIs.
Most demanding repair while at sea so far?
I think that rewiring the hydro generator was a little bit...
Middle of the Atlantic Ocean, yeah, that was it. Oh, look at this man. Who gives a shit? Show us your tits.
He is classy.
Look at this. There's a little nipple poking out, mate.
See what happens when you say
Don't
something
ask,
like
mate.
that.
Don't ask. But for that, let's have a little look. Oh, there you go, mate. There you go.
Okay, any updates on acquiring a new boat? No, there's no updates there.
No, we are.
The boat's still up for sale. We haven't sold her, so that's
Yeah.
that's as far as it's gone. Sorry, Klaus says, sorry if it's already been asked and answered, but have you decided when you are getting back in the water again? Yeah, we're going to be back in the water like October, November. Okay.
Hey Kevin, hope you caught some nice fish in your kayak. Flow Rider, do you have a workout routine? She works out like a mofo.
Yeah, okay, so if anyone is interested in doing any exercise ever, but doesn't want to go to the gym, doesn't want to pay any money, just in fact doesn't really like exercising or needs some new inspiration, go to fitnessblender.com. Blender is in a blender. And they have like hundreds of free workouts. You download the video. I download the video from YouTube so that I don't have to be online, and they're like anything between 5 minutes and an hour and 20 minutes, all difficulty levels. The couple that do it are awesome. I love it. I can't speak highly enough of Fitness Blender, so that's what I do. I download videos, workout videos, and I do them on the road.
So, Snoopy says, would you start to sail on a tall ship? Yes, my friend. If you look at our BVI episode, our friend, one of my best friends, Shiner, came to visit us. He's part of the Tall Ships Trust, and he's always doing stuff on that. Dude is interested in engines. All right, mate.
John says you guys are really attractive. Wow. If you saw us in real life, you would not say that. Because we're sweaty and disgusting right now.
Gary says he's buying a cat. Excellent.
Real.
And Hindu Kush says he's buying the Cuba. Fantastic. Winging it, Tracy, Panama? Yes. Yeah, we are. we're going to go to
Jim
Panama.
says we need to drive the A1A in the Keys. Is that like the motorway that goes like, it's like you're driving along an ocean, except, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't explain that very well. I think I know the one you're talking about.
So Dave says, throwaway comment about the boat in the tropics. I have one flip-flop. That's true. It got to the point where in the BBI, I owned one shoe.
And then you had to buy these shoes,
Yeah,
and they're
old man
nasty.
shoes.
Where are they?
So, anyway.
Horrible old man shoes,
So-
and yet he's strangely attached to them.
I buy one pair of shoes a year, and it's almost, I don't like wearing shoes. I've never liked wearing shoes. And I had a pair of flip-flops and I lost one. And then for 2 weeks I thought, well, I don't really need to buy shoes.
But you do.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway.
but you do.
Well, we were on the beach all the time.
Well, every now and again you have to go to the supermarket or something.
What's the smallest boat you commonly see while cruising? I'm assuming you mean people live on boards. I think we've seen people on 25-foot boats, haven't we?
I don't know, no, not that small. Maybe 27 or 28.
Okay. Simon says, hi, I'm from Swansea. Hello. And you bought a Beneteau First 38. Woohoo!
Real.
Really good boat, very fast boat as well. Simon is bringing her back. Okay, thanks, mate. Kezia is in Ireland.
John says you got your room for the boat show. Yeah, I'm finding it hard to get one right now. I got an email from someone a little while ago offering me their basement, and so I might actually have to email them back. And I did email them back initially, but I might need to confirm that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a backup plan in case we can't find anything.
So Steve says, how long have you both been sailing? I've been sailing for 10 years. And what boats have you had? My first boat was a 1980 Jaguar 25, which is based on the Catalina 25. The second one was a Hands 320. So Brian, hello from High Beach, Epping. And someone from the Jersey Shore. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Gina and her husband Matt. Okay, so Gina was not a child because she's with her husband.
Sorry, Gina.
Dustin says he found our channel last week, pretty new to sailing, always interested in what upgrades to a 17-foot boat. Well done. Excellent. Okay, mate.
Okay, Poppy and the Princess are from freezing Canberra. Yeah, my condolences.
Tracy McCann.
I've actually spent a lot of time in Canberra. My best friend used to live there, so I've been there many, many times.
Tracy says, selling the boat, giving up on sailing. Never.
No.
I'll be sailing when I'm 100.
Yeah, no.
No, we absolutely love sailing. This is the thing, right? Everyone's like, why are you selling the boat? Why are you selling the boat? The definitive answer is we bought that boat to do a certain thing. And we bought it because it had a lifting keel. It was a very, very well-built boat. And we knew that we could take the boat across the Atlantic and live happily on her. And she was amazing and perfect for the Bahamas, for shallow waters. And we've done that now. And now we probably want a slightly faster boat, as in a longer boat in the Pacific. So that's what we're looking for. So literally, a boat did its job. We love it. If she doesn't sell, then we'll be completely happy to continue in it. But that boat is meant for shallow draft. It is, it's perfectly suited to the American East Coast and the Bahamas.
Okay, so Eric says, can you characterise a cruiser personality type that gets it? For example, that will make it all the way around. Do you mean we'll do circumnavigation?
Yeah, I think that's what it means, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. How do you interpret that question?
I don't know. Put it this way, when we set off from England, we met a lot of people on the way that were doing the ARC or kind of heading round for their circumnavigation. And we probably met about 20 boats, so I think there's probably only us and one other left.
But not everyone plans to do a circumnavigation. Not everyone's interested in that, or not everyone wants to commit to that. So yeah, I don't know.
Some people do and some people don't. I think I've said this before in live chats, we've always been told, I was told by a friend of mine to never say we were sailing around the world, to say that we're just going sailing. I think it puts a lot of pressure on you to kind of live up to something if you don't get on with it. And it's not a lifestyle for everyone.
And there shouldn't be any pressure to complete the circumnavigation.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be something that you feel under pressure to do. I don't feel under pressure to do that.
Well, I think, to tell you the truth, as I said, we set off 2 years ago. We're going back into our 3rd season. There's only one other boat that we know that's still going and that we consider to be our friends. And they are in Grenada now, I think. Oh no, Heather and Tony are as well. There are 2 actually. And
It's probably more than that. We can
yeah,
probably...
but a lot of people are giving up. That's what I'm trying to say. They do a couple of seasons. Just
you
think,
say giving up, but they might have only wanted to take a year or 2 years out in the first place.
Yeah.
It's not about giving up. It's about...
Okay, absolutely correct. A lot of people have stopped after a few years.
Captain Scurvy says, The Who or Rolling Stones?
I'm going to go with the Stones, mate. I play guitar, and a lot of the Stones stuff goes very well acoustically. I love the Who, but prefer the Stones. There you go.
He says, if you're able to sell your boat today, what would be the boat that you would be looking to buy? Well, this is the dilemma.
Yeah,
we don't know.
We don't know. Okay, money no object. I would seriously look at the AML 50, but you have to buy a boat with your heart. There's some questions of the AML 50, like it looks a little bit clunky and it seems it's got a lot of coach roof on it, but I've only seen the computer mock-ups. The other thing is when you see these boats kind of like in computer mock-ups, they never have spray hoods or cockpit tents, and you think, oh, that looks sleek, and then it ends up looking like a massive caravan. So if going to the boat show, I'd like to see an AML 50, a Southerly 470 I want to look at as well.
Did you take cruising or sailing lessons or just learn on the go? Well, a bit of both. Nick did a lot of courses. You did your Yachtmaster?
I did my day skipper, I did my Yachtmaster coastal, it's not the proper Yachtmaster. But most of it I just learned.
Yeah, it's all just, I don't know, learning through experience. I didn't really learn to sail until we spent the summer in France a few years ago. We spent 6 weeks sailing around France, and that's when I learned to sail. I'd been sailing for about 4 years before then, but it was all just weekend sails, and I didn't really learn anything.
So Shannon says you'll be making a cockpit enclosure. Are you going to make it yourself?
It
Yes.
just fell onto my head.
Yes. Well, I've got 2/3 of one. So I've made 5 panels. I've got 3 more to do, and I made it myself, and it worked really well. I didn't make the bimini. Making a bimini yourself is a really hard thing to do, but the side panels, it's just really, really good templating you needed. So I've already made it, so probably wouldn't do it. So, sorry, let me just finish that thing. Go on, if you want to see, go on to Sailright's website. They've got all sorts of instructions. There you go, mate.
Thomas says, any plans to come to the Pacific Northwest? Not the Northwest. No, definitely not. I mean, we would love to, but we don't have a boat.
Sterilized 79, yes, we're going to South Pacific. Alex says, are you completely happy with the lifting keel? Yes. And it's not hard to anti-foul, you just drop it down, paint it, and that's it.
Steve says, hello from NYC.
We love NYC.
Yes. Charles and Sandy. Okay.
So
regarding the meetup at the Annapolis Boat Show.
Yeah, we are gonna do. I think
it might be on the Friday night.
No, there's a party on the Friday night we've been invited to.
What one?
The WCC party.
Yeah, no, but that's just that's not for.
It will to be confirmed.
Once we decide. I didn't realise we were going to that.
John says, do you know anything about the upside up system? I have no idea what that is, mate. Let me know, what is the upside up system? Okay, Charles and Sandy, anyone else on live chat getting a boat show?
Yeah. So the ones. Okay, Scuba Brit says, do you know the average time to build time for a Southerly like the 47? How long did Ruby Rose take to build?
So we booked, you have to book the build slot. We booked the build slot in September. We had a January build, I think, the build slot, and she was finished in April, so 3 or 4 months, I think it was.
Not too bad, really.
Yeah, it's fun. Some people take a lot longer, like I think.
We also had like a 3-year lead time or something.
The lead times are huge, like the Antares 44, the lead time is incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. SV Nimbus says, can you speak on how often you've run into situations where there are uncharted reefs surprise you? Never.
Not yet.
Never. But if this is on the back of that poor boat that managed to knacker themselves on a reef,
I think that we've only really been to places that are very well chartered. So, you know, we have only really done the world-trodden path so far, the Bahamas, the Caribbean, Europe. I mean, there aren't really any surprises there. I think once we get to the Pacific, where it's a lot more remote and there's so many like little reefs and atolls and that just strewn all over the place that may not be charted accurately, then yeah, maybe we might have to rethink that.
Yeah. So Kendra says cat versus monohull.
Well, we answered this question earlier.
Monohull. but because we don't know much about cats, and as I said, the closest I've come to seeing a cat that I would sail around the world in comfortably is an Antares 44, but they are so ugly that I'm not sure I could bring myself to buy one.
Yeah.
Phil and Lyra says, if you had to buy a motor yacht, how about the Nordhaven? That's probably what I'd buy.
Yeah. But we spent an evening on a Nordhaven and
They're quite rolly.
they're very rolly. The anchorage was, I thought it was flat. I mean, certainly our boat was pretty still, and then we got onto their boat and it was like, it's very noticeable, the roll.
So yeah, big Hobro, when do you plan to head to Panama? We don't know.
I'd like to think next year,
Next year at some point.
I don't know when.
Okay. Poppy and the Princess, what are the prettiest and friendliest places you visited in your travels? I don't know, I've got a real soft spot for Morocco. We sailed to Morocco and it was crazy. Beautiful place, we had a really lovely time in Morocco. I was very taken with the BVIs as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
So that's those two.
John says uses reversible winches to automatically reef your sails.
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about. We have got an electric winch. I like the thought of being able to kind of do that, but
what is that? I don't understand what it is.
Lumar have got this kind of system where you can, rather than just having a winch that goes one way, it goes two ways, and you can kind of let a sheet in and out by pushing another button. To tell you the truth, anything that makes my life easier, I'm going to enjoy. What I would say is that when I ease a sheet, I like to feel the sheet in my hands. I like to let a sheet off, and I can feel the vibration in the sheet, and it gives me an idea of when to actually where it's happiest. So yes, although if I had a winch to do it, I'd go, looks about right, that'll do. Okay, so Dexter, hello from Nashville. Colonel Auctioner, hello. Arwin 10, desalinator, we have one. We have a water maker. And what I'd say about water makers, it's probably, I've said this before in live chats, it's the one thing that I would do differently if I had to refit the boat. They're invaluable, they need maintenance, and I would buy one that has a very high water output that maybe runs on DC or engine driven. We have an AC driven one and it's a pain in the ass. 26 Slippy, what kind of boat has the best storage? I don't really know, no idea. What do you think? Ours, definitely not ours.
I mean, the problem with the catamaran is obviously there's more storage space, but you can't, well, you probably don't want to laden it down with stuff because then you are affecting the sail performance. Yeah, our boat definitely. I mean, the thing is that this other Leaf 42 had a lot more storage space and was a very similar size boat, so it's all about just interior, the design on the inside of the boat.
So yeah, it's okay, so
no, it says up system. It's for cat's anti-capsize system.
Oh, is that the way you've got a fuse that kind of blows? Anyway, the thing about cats capsizing, I think they are very stable nowadays. I think I'd want to say, like, we've never sailed a cat. We've never sailed a cat, and I think I don't know enough about them. I love looking at them, and I love thinking, oh, what wouldn't it be amazing to have that space? Or wouldn't it be amazing to be in an anchorage and have the thing that no rolling? And wouldn't it be amazing to be able to run around and jump up and down on a trampoline all day long? I don't know enough about them. I think if Ruby sells, we will seriously look at them and test sail a lot. So there you go, that's the idea. So,
Adam says, what first, wind or solar?
Okay,
He actually answered this in the video, I think, didn't he?
Well, hang on a minute. Depends where you are, Adam. And I'm going to modify my answer. If you are going to the Caribbean, definitely wind. If you're going to the Med, definitely solar. There's my answer for words. In the Caribbean, you've got a lot more wind. You've got trade winds, your wind will go all day long. In the Mediterranean, if you're sailing in the summer, you get a lot more sun and a lot less wind. You know, we've been in Rhodes for a month. We saw clouds for 2 days. It's wall-to-wall sunshine. Solar would go mad here, but there's not a lot of wind. So there you go. Randall says...
There is, but it's a bit constant.
Yeah. So Randall says, have you considered an X49? Don't know what that is, mate. Let us know.
What is that?
It's a boat coming in. They're probably some sort of conflict as to who's got right away.
What is your watermaker's output capacity? Asks Big.
15 litres. No, it's 4 gallons, 15 litres an hour. So there you go. It's not big enough.
Okay.
Randall, can you tell me what an X49 is?
Do you go through the sunscreen?
No,
Not
no, we don't
particularly.
sunbathe anymore.
We don't. Yeah. We put sunscreen on our face and our shoulders, but we're not out in the sun. If we're out in the sun, yes, but we try not to be out in the sun too much.
Time Bandit says I used to work in Lumar travelling around to repairs for customers. We need to buy 2 more winches, so if Lumar can give us some winches, let us know, yeah? Lost video. Okay, sorry. Okay, that's fine.
Jack says Nick's not going. Yes, he is coming to Australia. He's just following me out.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
My family do like him a lot. It's kind of,
Yeah.
They're like, he's like the son they never had.
Oh, that's nice. Scuba says, how often do you check your standing ribbon for wear, tear, snap strands? All the time.
Yeah.
Every time I go up the mast, on the way down, I check all the shrouds.
Sorry, I missed the question. Brian says, are you happy with your Watt&C hydro generator, even though they're expensive? We talked about this in the last video on power generation.
All I would say, if you're going to buy one, make sure you get a boat that can maintain a speed of 7 knots. Because if you had a 30-foot boat, you couldn't get that speed up.
In short, they're probably worth it if you're planning to do a lot of offshore cruising or circumnavigation, something like that. But if you're just doing coastal cruising, then no, it's not. I wouldn't have thought they were the cost because you can generate power by running your engine if you need to, and then just fill up with diesel when you get to your destination.
Eric says, any advice for a family about to start the liveaboard life?
Ooh, good luck, Eric.
Firstly, good luck. Secondly, I think I should do this to the medium of music, or even possibly mine. I'd say enjoy it. Understand that it's going to be challenging, and interpersonal relationships sometimes are more difficult to maintain.
I think that the biggest piece of advice that we can give you, based on what we've seen from other friends who have families, other family boats, is that try and connect with other family groups.
Yes,
through Instagram, through Facebook, through Noon Site or whatever. Like, even if you don't personally like social media that much, try and get on there and find other cruising families, because that is what will make, or cruising nets when you get to a destination, like say you arrive in Grenada or St. Martin, some of these areas that have a big liveaboard community, then really put yourself out there and try and find other cruising kid boats, because from all accounts that is what is going to kind of save your sanity. If your kids are happy and got other children and you can maybe get someone else to babysit them for a couple of hours while you get on with your work or whatnot, then that will make a difference.
Yeah, she's absolutely correct.
I am absolutely correct.
And all I would say is that before we started off doing this, and even last year, I never really got the kind of like Instagram friends before you actually meet them. So you meet people and you're like, oh, these are my friends on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm like, well, we've never really met them.
Yeah, Alice and I were really bad about that, because Alison and I are on Instagram all the time and we follow the same people. So we'd be like, oh, we're going to meet up with this boat tonight or that boat tomorrow, because we've been like talking to them on Instagram, and Nick and Bo would be like, what the hell are you talking about? Who are these people that we're going to meet up with? Like, we don't know them. They're just like randoms from the internet. And we ended up meeting some really fantastic, like our best friends ended up being people that we knew from Instagram. So even if you have never done the social media thing before, then if you're going to be cruising, I do recommend it, because it's a great way of connecting with other cruisers. Absolutely. In advance.
So Tripswater says, love the videos, thank you very much. And Bo Bundy, hello.
From Bundaberg.
Bundaberg. Russ says, are you looking forward to the Panama Canal transit? Yes, can't wait. And I did see this thing when I thought it was really cool, that when Chase the Story went through, they live streamed it. So yeah,
no, there was no live stream then. I think that
there was. I promise you, they did. They live streamed on Facebook. They did Facebook Live through the Panama Canal.
No, I think that the Panama Canal has its own camera, and you can log onto a special website, the Panama Canal camera website, and you can see it on there.
I saw the video with Ryan with all the little hearts on Facebook of people loving what he was doing. I may be wrong.
No, that does ring a bell actually.
Yeah. Okay, Slick Milano, the new Southerly or Harbour Grassy are smart monohulls. Yes, they are. Antares cats. Yeah, they're not pretty. Dustin says, your in-laws own a 42. Okay, very nice.
Cool.
Hope you sell your current boat. I think you will love the same. Yeah, look, I don't know. I want to talk about that again in a minute, I think. Okay, so Dexter says he's narrowed himself down to a Beneteau or Genoa. What's your opinion or suggestion? They're both very good, depending on what size and what year. There's a lot of big Beneteaus, like that seem to be really kind of quite sturdy. It depends on the year. That's what I think. It's like buying wine. Depends on the years. Jack says, what's the monthly charge for the sat phone? I don't know. You pay two things for the sat phone, and we're doing a video on this actually, so I'm going to keep it quite brief. You pay a monthly rental charge, and then you pay for the minutes separately. The problem is if you let the rental expire, you lose all the minutes.
Phils and Lyra says, where are you? We're in Rhodes in Greece. We're just on a family holiday at the moment. Our boat isn't here. So yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Right. The frog incident. No, that was just... Bill says, did you almost get a divorce over the frog incident? No. Terysa actually didn't think that was very funny. She was like, I'm going to put this in a video because it's just as filler. And everyone's
like, not much has happened this week.
Yeah,
I'll just put that in.
Frog incident has gone down in.
We didn't even really laugh when I kind of laughed a bit. I was like, oh, this is kind of funny, I guess.
I was drunk as a monkey.
Well, we'd both been at Willie T's, which is like the famous kind of bar that is actually a boat in the BVI's. And we'd had a bit to drink and we just got back and I don't know, we were just like talking shit really over this bloody frog that had appeared and happened to be filming it. And I don't know, like everyone thought it was hysterical.
So, yeah. Big Hobo says, are fresh locally grown veggies easily accessed to the Caribbean? Heading there soon and concerned that cheaper local fresh vegetables may be in short supply.
Yeah, you're right to be concerned about that.
They are in short supply.
Yeah, and no, there's... I don't know why, but for some reason there's very few locally grown fruit and vegetables to be found in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
You and me, can I store a motor scooter on a boat? You can, but try getting it off. Maybe electric bike if you need one, but a lot lighter. I think actually Brompton have just bought out an electric version. Do not
really?
buy a Brompton and put a Brompton on a boat.
We loved our Bromptons when we bought them. We're like, these are so cool, they're so pretty, they fold up, they're amazing, and they rusted and they look about 20 years old
Bromptons
now.
are made of mild steel and they just rust.
Yeah.
And then I phoned Brompton and I'm like, okay, our
brand new bikes are rusted.
Yeah, we've just spent £2,500 on 2 bikes. And they're like, your warranty's invalid because you're not allowed to keep them in a salt environment. I'm like, you fuckers.
Okay, what wind generator do you use? Asks Adam.
It's an air breeze.
Air breeze.
Now here's the thing about these air breezes and different people I've found. I remember talking to a bloke in St Lucia. He just bought I don't think it was an air breeze. He bought a generator and then he found a wind generator. It was crazy noisy. He took it back, got the same model but a different one, and it was quiet.
I love our wind generator.
Yeah,
I like the sound of it. It's like a gentle whistle in the background.
Yeah, but the tip with the wind generators, if you run your hands or run your fingers along like the aft edge of the blades, if there are any small little nicks or dings in it, file it down with some wet and dry paper, and it will quieten it significantly. There you go.
Poppy and the Princess says, Terysa, how was the 3 weeks with the in-laws? I know Nick is coming down under. Yes, he is. He's just following me out to spend some more time with his parents. Yeah, well, I think that we're one of those very, very lucky and possibly rare couples. Actually, we both get along
really well with each other in-laws. Yeah.
So yeah, it's no hardship spending time with them.
Yeah, Keith says a motor scooter will be a bitch to get in and out of the dinghy. Yeah, you're too right there, mate.
Greg says you're scared of a frog, you should have your Australian passport taken away. Yeah, I know that the irony wasn't lost on me. I wasn't actually scared of it, as in it didn't scare me. I was just afraid that I would step on it and then I would like have a squished frog underfoot, which just made me shudder. So it wasn't that I thought it was going to harm me. I just didn't want to like squish it and then no.
So Dexter says 55 to 60 foot for Beneteau. I'd probably go Beneteau. But to tell you, look, Dexter, assuming that you have a family, let your wife choose. You'll get a lot further in life. I think you know, I see so many boats that we have friends that remain nameless who the man shows everything on the boat and equip the boat, and the wife.
It has to be a joint thing. If you're going to live on it together, you have to go through the entire process together.
Yes, absolutely. Dudes, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what you.
Dude says, what app or satellite service can you use when out of Wi-Fi range? We use, well, you can use anything actually. You can use any app that, because we've got a modem for our satellite phone. So we use, God, what do we use for weather? I've completely blank.
What, as in the app?
We just use a grid file.
Yeah.
Just get grid files, and they're really small files. So we tend to. I think we need, once you've got it down, once you've understood how a satellite phone works, and that sounds like really a glib comment. They are not straightforward satellite phones. Don't think it's like a mobile phone. You're going to have the right coverage. They don't want to connect to computers. Once you've got it all sorted out, you can normally use about a minute of airtime to get a good quality weather forecast. Jason says, do we want free anti-fouling? Yes. Yes, absolutely, Jason.
Next question.
Car Boss says, we'll be in Rhodes late next week through the way AML 64.
You're welcome to come for a cruise.
Terysa won't be here. I would love to come and see your AML 64.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, Car Boss, find us on Facebook.
Yeah,
I'd love to come and see you.
Please contact us, because we would really. Well, I won't be there, but Nick would love to do that.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
I think all cruises are the same. If nothing else, we just love snooping around other people's boats.
Yeah, nose around a boat.
Yeah.
Okay. Street Muscle says, hi from Jersey Shore. Too bad not still in Charleston.
For the solar eclipse.
Yeah, there's a mad solar eclipse going on.
First of this type in 98 years. There's always like a solar eclipse or some kind of event, and they say, oh, this is the only time this is going to happen in your lifetime, or this is the first in like 100 years or whatever. But these things seem to happen all the time. There's always solar eclipses going on, and then the newsman is like, oh, like.
No, this one in America is meant to be a mental one.
But
a full solar eclipse is a rare thing, baby. It passes all the way. Like if you watch the position.
Is a solar eclipse when it's daytime and then the moon blocks the sun?
Yes, my love.
Okay, that is kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning for some kind of. What's the other one? Lunar eclipse. What's it called when the sun blocks the moon and you get like a red moon and stuff like that?
Alright, we'll talk about this later, yeah?
Am I making a fool of myself?
Dave says he's right about Cheat Ryan from streaming live Facebook.
Okay.
So Ryan did do it, yeah.
Yeah, no.
What the hell has happened to Cheeky Monkey? We love them. They just disappeared. I kind of like want to go.
Well, there's obviously something going on.
Alright. Jamie, Great Machine and Ghost like to stab rat. I'm going to have to steal that. I love that line. Okay. Stuart says 2 dislikes. Who would do that? You guys are. Yeah, do you know what?
Are they dislikes? Aww.
I think this is the thing. Like every now and then you'll get like people. I don't know. Like our comment about. I saw this the other day. I logged onto YouTube, and someone put a comment out about our the end from Charleston. Someone just wrote "good riddance," and I started writing this kind of response about saying "you massive twat," and then I just thought, bollocks, just delete it. Hey, Grandpa's Farm, how you doing? And A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Have you ever thought about growing some veg on board? We used to keep herbs, and I mean herbs for cooking, not like a massive marijuana bush. And we just found that.
Well, the thing is that when it got rough, because they had to be kept on the coach roof next to the companionway because that was where they got sunlight, but they also were protected by the spray hood. But then, like, there were a couple of instances where it was really rough and they ended up just taking a tumble down the companionway, and then we just have soil and basil all over our boat.
But you couldn't grow enough tomatoes, for instance. You would eat them too quickly.
Nothing like that.
Slick Milano, Terysa, what annoys you most about boat life? Please don't say me, please don't say me, please don't say me, please don't say me.
What annoys me most about? Our fridge.
Yeah.
I hate our fridge.
But we're going to fix that, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
We're going to buy another fridge.
We have a top-loading fridge that drives me crazy. And the thing that actually drives me the most crazy is that someone who shall remain nameless, but since there's only 2 of us on board and it isn't me, it's only really going to be one person. There's a lack of care about placing, like for example, the lettuce away from the freezer plate and placing, for example, the chicken next to the freezer plate and like balancing the fridge so that things that can be frozen are next to the freezer plate and things that definitely cannot freeze are away from it. It's an art.
Listen, full disclosure, right? You know I've been doing it deliberately, right?
No, you haven't. No, you
Occasionally
haven't.
when I don't want to eat some mangy vegetable that you buy, I freeze it. Do you know that scene in our video where we're at the lighthouse
Yes.
And Bo and I are laughing in the background.
Yes.
That was over me deliberately putting vegetables against the freezer.
What vegetable did you put against the freezer?
I know, some
You like all the vegetables I
fucking
buy.
squash that I didn't want to eat.
I don't care about that. I care about like lettuce.
Anyway, Bo, hello. Grandpa's family was saying, how's your souvlaki? Amazing, amazing.
You think you're so clever, don't you?
La, la, la. Bubba, talk to Bubba. Bubba says, is radar a must-have? Yeah, do you know what? If you read our friend Sailing Totem just did a really good article about radar. We love radar, not for anti-collision so much, but for looking at weather.
I'd love to see. Oh, go on. Oh, sorry. How much sleep do you guys get on an average day while you're sailing? Do you mean when we're like doing an offshore passage and we're under sail? Well, when it's just two of us, we get about 3 hours at a time, maybe if we're really lucky, and then we might do that till, I don't know, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours, but it's very broken, which is where that's how you get tired. It's like
it takes about 3 days to get into it.
Yeah, you only get a couple of hours at a time.
Okay, Jason Hill, send me a message. Jason,
Regarding
send us a personal message about your email and we will do.
Sorry, Jack says, I would like to see you get scuba gear and a refill pump installed in the Ruby Rose underwater videos. Yeah.
If we buy a bigger boat, we will. We just cannot fit the stuff on board.
I know.
And that's one of the things. We're kind of a bit full at the moment.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to do more scuba diving, or any scuba diving actually.
Yeah. So, Poppy and the Princess, on your travels, what is the most common size boat that most single people sail when cruising? There isn't a common size. Anything from say 27 to 40, I would say. Is that right?
Yeah, Paolo was on a 44 or something, and he was single-handed.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the boat as well. Like obviously, if it's all designed for single-handed sailing, then that's a lot easier.
So Dexter's just said, okay, I looked at the Southerly Beneteau Genino. The concern I have is that Southerly it's been purchased by Discovery. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's brilliant because the Southerly have had a checkered history. The fact that a big company like Southerly, like Discovery, have bought them it really ensures their future. And there are two distinct lines now. So
Poppy and the Princess says, back to the more important thing. Terysa, a solar eclipse is where the moon passes between the Earth and the Sun, and lunar eclipse is where the Earth passes in between the Sun and the Moon. That's what I was saying, and then you said, okay, let's talk about this later because I'm making a fool out of myself.
Well, you know what? As they did in Father Ted, we can rewatch this later. I never said you were making a fool out of yourself. You said that. I said we'll talk about it later. No. You said we'll talk about this later. I said we'll talk about this later because it was a slightly long-winded thread.
Exactly.
We'll watch it back.
And the Princess.
We'll watch
That's what I was saying.
Christy Duval. Hello, Christy. You have a nice name. I kind of envisage like a. She always comments on our stuff.
Does she?
Yeah, like
That's
a kind
nice.
of French harp player.
Christy Duval.
Christy Duval. And there's the art. Are you a French harp player? Anyway.
That would be amazing. I gave a thumbs up, says
yay, thank you
someone who I can't see anymore because Nick has scrolled down. Oh, Street Muscle. I always give thumbs up. Thank you.
Kevin says Alison told me about the other herbs. She's such a grass, that one.
The grass.
Okay.
Dexter, anyway, I like the idea of letting the wife purchase will keep you up to date. Yeah, I would say as I said, a joint. It needs to be like a joint thing, the whole thing.
You can always tell a boat that has been chosen by a man completely because men go you see boats. It tends to be a lot of Southerlies actually. What colour do you want the upholstery? Blue. What colour do you want the curtains? Blue. Work surfaces? How about blue? And you see these boats, everything is blue. It's like why? It just.
And they're not even nice blues. They're like horrible like mid blue.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad colour, but dark wood and everything.
Greg H, thank you. Carlos says, are we missing sailing? Yeah, I do miss her. I miss the boat.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys want or see yourselves getting an African grey parrot?
No.
Is that a parrot? Or is that something that isn't a parrot?
Just straight of marijuana. ML 50, amazing boat.
Don't forget you guys have an invitation to Nashville.
Want to go to Nashville?
We'd really like to go to Nashville.
Joker says, does radar help you avoid floating debris fields? No, not really. Debris is normally, we don't see that much, but Yeah, there's too much sea state for you to pick up things like that. Weather's good for land mass and collision avoidance with ships.
Philip says, hello, why don't you come to Egypt, Sharm el Sheikh, Dahab,
And Haggadah.
Hurghada? Well, one is that it's very, very far away from where the boat is, and two, in order to get there, we would have to be squeezed between Yemen, which is currently in the middle of a civil war, and Somalia, which is pirate.
I think
So-
what we would do, we don't know. We don't know when we get that far. Dude, enjoy your work, sir. Dennis says, do you anticipate any seasickness when we start off again? Yeah, to tell you the truth,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
At the beginning of the season, you know, it's always a bit iffy.
Yeah. Joe, the computer guy, thank you very much for your offer. Very nice of you. The dude, cheers, mate. Enjoy. You're streaming live to the world, young man. Jack, thanks for letting me know about Sailing Totem. They're very cool. Yeah, we met Behan and Jamie in BVI's. They're a very lovely family,
Yeah,
and
very
they are
knowledgeable.
full of knowledge. Phil and Lyra, have you been on a Celine or a Fleming yacht? Phil, I may have been on a Fleming.
No. The motorboats, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
A boat sank here. Okay, so that's sad to hear about that. So they're all sort
One
of,
body cancer.
well, that's terrible.
Where's that? Okay. Jennifer says, you may not know the answer to this. However, if you're a dive master, can you find work while cruising? I have no idea.
Actually, our friends, I'm not going to mention their names because I really don't want to. Our friends, they had dive gear on board. They have dive gear, and they advertised their services sailing around. And what happened was they were just about shoot off by
the
locals.
outfits. Yeah.
It's really, you have to
It
be.
sounds like a good idea because you're like, oh, we can just cruise around, and if anyone wants a lesson or wants to do a dive, then I'll be there, and I can. It's like easy money or easy work.
Yeah.
But in reality, there's a lot of competition with stuff like that, and there's a lot of. Nick's right. It doesn't really depend. It doesn't really matter what industry you're wanting to get into or you're wanting to work in. If you are cruising and wanting to work within the cruising community, then you will find yourself.
Yeah, you don't step on the toes of the locals. You will end up getting yourself into trouble.
Or it would just be awkward and
Yeah, just don't do it. Because the thing is, what's that expression? Leave nothing but footprints and something like that. Don't try taking work from locals.
Yeah.
It's not. Some people do, and some people moonlight, but I wouldn't. There you go. That's my thought.
When you're on long passages, what do you do to entertain yourselves? Is there any music, radio that you can listen to, etc.?
Spotify now allows you to download playlists and keep them stored. That's what
so
we
everything
do.
has to be pre-downloaded. But yeah, I don't know. We just download like YouTube videos. I'll catch up on like my Delos and who else did I watch?
Okay, so
Like Nanji and
Winging It says, "Ever wish we had a bow thruster?" We have one.
yeah, and we are very happy about it.
So Midas Media, you mentioned before one of your videos you choose a larger boat. What are your thoughts on AMOL? Okay, this is my thought on AMOL yachts. I think that the older ones, and I've seen this. Obviously, we've got Delos. They're like our kind of like our
favourites.
Our favourites. They're very good, very practical, very amazing, and they're amazing, awesome sailing yachts, and also very, very, very practical. I don't like the interior design. The new 50, I've seen the kind of mock-ups. It looks amazing.
Slightly out of our budget.
Yeah, and out of our budget. Mo Jamie says, is it Southerly? We have a Southerly 38, yes.
Do
Archie
you know,
wants
if
it.
you had a stream tip setup, I would be able to buy your pipe. I don't know what a stream tip setup is.
Oh, a tip setup. There's a thing at the bottom, a super chat at the bottom, but you know, I think that thing's kind of fallen out of the way now. No one super chats. I think basically, someone said to us once, this is when we started doing this live thing in the BVIs, we are the first people to do live chat. Someone said none of the other sailing channels are doing live chat. Then it caught on really quickly, and then people found out about super chat, and then we were getting lots of messages saying people are begging on super chat. So it's kind of, I think it's kind of gone, it blipped, and then it's gone. So when you meet us, buy us a pint, and we'll buy you one back. Because that's how pints work. If you buy someone buys you a pint, you buy one back. Which is why we get so drunk when we get to these things.
I keep getting leaves fall on me.
Well, that's trees, babe. Okay.
Dexter says, how do we email you guys? You can do it through our Facebook page or through our website. There's a contact form on our website. Yeah. All the links should be... Actually, I think that if you look at the links here, they won't actually link because there's no HTTP.
Yeah. Oh, there is. You put them in. It's Anyway, it's yachtRubyRose@gmail.com. Then.
Or yachtRubyRose@gmail.com.
Yeah, yachtRubyRose@gmail.com. There you go. Yes, Greg, it's sad about that boat. Jeff, hello from San Diego. Phil and Lyra, check out Sailing Emerald. We will do.
Yeah, I've heard about Sailing Emerald. I've got a few lined up that I want to start watching, but maybe when I get to Adelaide I can download some stuff.
Priority 789. Never sailed before. Do you recommend starting with a 20 to 33 foot? Yes, I do.
For sure.
I really would start small. You can do a lot less damage with a smaller boat if you stuff things up. Brian DeBeer says, may you ask you what price it is, Ruby Rose? I think it's a bit crass to talk about money. I don't want to talk about money on here. All I would say to you is she's on yachtworld.com. Have a little look.
Jamie says, I have a couple of small kids. Would like it boring for them cruising. I'm thinking it's got to be a better education than staring at a chalkboard all day. Thoughts? Well, obviously, look, we don't have children, so I can't comment from experience, but we have met a lot of sailing families in the Caribbean. I think with all things like the question, will they get bored on a boat? I think that's kind of like up to you. Like if you kind of make sure that they're not bored, if you have loads of games and I don't know, probably not toys, but things that they can engage with. I guess it depends on their age. Then they're not going to get bored. And also, as I said a little bit earlier, if you are cruising and you meet up with loads of other boat families, like in the Caribbean, there's huge amounts of boat families. Then your kids will obviously be very happy to be playing with other kids, and that will take the pressure off you a little bit. You'll be able to just kind of relax and let them play without having to constantly entertain them. So in terms of an education, you said that it's better than staring at a chalkboard all day. Again, like that's such a kind of broad statement. I think that it really depends on what your priorities are, what you consider to be a good education, and yeah, like obviously I think that within a certain age kind of frame, yeah, I think that it could be fantastic. I think that for teenagers, then maybe they would be better off in school. But that being said, Sailing Totem have teenagers on board, and they've been doing fantastically well.
There's a lot of information on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a point again that I've made at the beginning. If our internet cuts out because we get thrown off of our internet every now and then, we will be back in about hopefully 3 to 5 minutes. So stay tuned. We'll be back. Okay, the hooker system. We've heard of the hooker systems, and I would love a hooker system. I actually think we get more use out of dive tanks because it's nice to go to dive sites in our dinghy, and I think you just get more from. I think we get more from a compressor and tanks that we could refill.
Yeah, because I mean we have to anchor in sand, so we wouldn't be able to anchor like on a reef.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's Matt says he went to Italy to look at a used Admiral 55. It was amazing, but I think due to the budget again for 54. Yeah, look, Amels are beautiful. I hope going on a 64. I think I'm going to come back and end up selling something to buy one. I love the thought of a catch. I think that the more of a sailor I become, because it is a lifelong journey, that sounds like some mad hippie, I fancy a catch. I fancy the sail plans. I have to fall in love with the interior. That's it for me. I have to go down below and go, this is a boat. Like when we went onto the Southerly 38.
It's our home. It has to feel like our home.
You have to walk into it. It's like if you bought a house or moved into an apartment or bought anything. It's like, or you buy a fantastically exotic pair of trousers. You see them and you go, oh my God, what a pair of trousers. And you buy these things with your heart. It's all fair and well if it's got like, a cutter rig, bow thruster, enclosed cockpit, all this other bullshit. So there you go.
Okay, Matty says, what are your plans for next season? Are you going to the Pacific? Yes, that's the direction we're heading for sure.
Whether we get there next season or the season after. I think it depends. Look, Cuba, Mexico, Guatemala, Panama, and maybe another in between. Like we went to the BVIs, we could have spent 3 months there. It just depends on the people we meet and how long we take. So the plan is to get there, but I think the problem is you don't know how long you're going to take to get there on the way, and rushing around is not what we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know the subject? Do you know the subject of your next inspiration video? Yes, we do. yes, we do. I love the last one on power. Thank you.
Okay, so the thing about we did the footage for the next video, and I'm going to try and put it together the next couple of weeks. It's probably going to be communications at sea, if I can get the footage together. We had a bit of a disaster. One of our hard disks. We've got a hard disk player, a little portable one, and it completely packed up.
Yeah.
And we got some of the stuff off it, but I think it's dead. And so all our outtakes are on there. All the raw footage from season 1's gone. And we're going to try and find someone to fix it, but I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. So we've lost a lot of footage. So I'm hoping I can cobble together an episode. There you go.
What's the next question?
If you do scuba dive or you sail looking at doing citizen science, I have no idea what that means.
No, scroll down.
It does.
If you had to do it all over again from the start, what would you have done differently?
From the start?
Done anything differently? I mean, maybe.
As I've said before, as a small point, I'd have bought a different water maker.
Yeah. I think that perhaps we would have bought a slightly bigger boat just to avoid.
Initially, yeah.
Because,
We couldn't afford it though.
No, we couldn't. We could have looked at the second-hand market more closely though.
But look, we had a budget. We had a budget of. I think our budget was like 200,000, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
We went to the boat show with 200,000 to buy a new boat, and found a boat that cost a lot more than that, and had to take a marine mortgage out. So, yeah, the best laid plans. Okay, Jack, enjoy yourself, sir, and enjoy life. Yeah. And I think we probably are going to make a move now.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit late, so thank you so much.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. So listen, I don't think we're going to be
You
doing a
can
lot.
give us a thumbs up times 10. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
We will see you not next week because we're not together next week, and I don't think you want to see one of these with just one of us. So we will try and do a live chat maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We'll try and get one done in Australia.
Yeah. That's a few weeks away.
Yeah. And
But we will still have videos coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Poppy, as I just said, we tried. We may have lost our outtake stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can do. Okay. So
I'm hoping I can take it to some person who is very good at IT and can just get all the.
from what I looked at
files
on YouTube, even if you can get it back, a lot of the stuff's damaged.
I'd rather it back and damaged than as in not usable or just.
As in not usable. Okay. So goodbye.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Look after yourselves. Thank you all for watching. We will be back at some point, and yeah.
That's it.
So goodbye.
Alright.
Goodbye. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you for everything. Lovely to see you, big family that we've got. And we'll see you soon.